Hi everybody. I'm going to do another how to draw tutorial today. And today I'm going to focus on how to draw a corgi. I'm not sure how many of you know me in person, but those who do know that corgis are my absolute favorite breed of dog. I do happen to have a corgi. I've had him for 13 years. He's a senior citizen and I just really enjoy them. I think they're very cute and I really want to share how to draw them with you so that you can maybe draw them too. So if you'd like, you're welcome to follow along. If not, you're welcome to just watch for fun. I hope y'all enjoy, and I really hope that you can make some awesome drawings. So the first thing that I always start with when I draw animals is the eyes. Not everybody starts this way. In fact, quite a few people do not start this way, but this is how I like to start. So I'm gonna do two little circles here, and inside each circle, I'm gonna leave these little white spots. And those little white spots symbolize where the eye is shining. It's important to leave those little white spots because if you don't, your animal might not look very lively, and sometimes they can look a little creepy if you don't leave those white spots. Mine are not exactly in the same spot in the eye. Typically, you would want them both to be like in the top right corner or the top left corner. Mine are kind of going both directions, which means my dog might look a little silly, but I think that'll be more cute in the end. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be the nose, and I'm going to try and make sure it's right between those two eyes, almost perfectly centered. And I'm not going to make it too far down because if I make it way down here, my corgi is going to look like it's got like an anteater snout. So I want to make sure that my nose stays relatively close to those eyes. And I'm going to make like a triangle first because I think that's the simplest way to make this shape. So triangle. And then I'm going to round the edges a little bit so that it's less of a triangle and more of like maybe an upside down Hershey's kiss. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. And that's going to be my corgi's eyes and my corgi's nose. The next thing I'm going to do is like a sideways number 3. And I want that sideways number 3 to come all the way out to the edge of these eyes. So I'm going to start at the edge of this eye. I'm going to do my sideways number 3. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the tongue because if you've ever seen a corgi, they always have their tongue sticking out and they're always smiling. And if you want to add a little bit more of a smile to this corgi, you can always add these little lines up against these ones so it looks like they're both coming to a T. And that way it looks like it's even more of a happy little dude. So I'm actually going to make my nose a little bit bigger because I realized as I was making the nose that mine's a little bit too small. So don't mind me as I just make that a little bit bigger. My corgi's name is Duke, and I know his nose is actually relatively large. There we go. That balanced it out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the white portion of the face. Now the white portion of the face is going to create like an upside down T shape. So I'm going to start it right above the eyes, not too high though, because if I go too high, the forehead's going to be giant. I'm going to start, if I measure like with my fingers like this, and I go about that high up, I'm just going to draw a little dot right there. And that's about how high up I'm going to start this shape. And I'm going to come right next to the eye, between the eye and the nose, and I'm going to just move that line right in there and right like that. So see, it's a little bit of a curvy S shape. Now on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing I just did. So I'm going to take my fingers like that, and then I'm going to move my fingers right on top of that eye, and I'm going to draw a dot, and I know that's about how high I want that forehead to be. And I'm going to have that line come right in between that eye and the nose. And you can see I made that perfect upside down T shape. And I know my forehead isn't too large now. I'm always worried about making these foreheads too big. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make, it's kind of like a little hill, and I'll just connect those. I made it a little bit taller. Now I want to make my corgi's ears. Now corgi ears are gigantic, so I want to make sure that I keep true to the true corgi ears that would be quite tall. And I'm just going to have them come up like this and like that. So it's like a triangle, but it's almost a little bit of an oval as well. So it's like a triangle and oval together. And then I'm going to do my other one. Honestly, these ears may be too big, but I don't really mind that. I think they're cute that way. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside of this ear and I am going to create a line that goes just like where I know the side of the face would be. And then I'm going to make a little zigzag right here. And then I'm just going to come up just along the inside of this. And then I'm going to create that side. And that's all I'm going to do. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do that line that would be right along the side of that face. Do my little zigzag. So it's like the letter W or like a letter M. Then I'm going to follow the inside curve of that ear as well, and I'm going to come along the top. And that's all I'm doing. You can actually, if you want, you can close it like this, because I know some of us may prefer to close it. And that way you just have the inside of the ear. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the little tufts on the side of the face, and I'm going to create the head shape. So I'm going to come right down from this ear. I'm going to make a little point, make another little point, and then I'm going to come down round like that. So it's like I'm following a circle shape with all of this. And then I'm going to come down on this side with a point, and then another point, and then I'm going to make it round like that. So see, now my Corgi has a pretty round head. Now you'll notice that I have this spot up here that's supposed to be white versus the reddish orangish color. I need to bring that down now. So I need that to come down on this side and this side because it is white all the way down to the chest. And then the next thing that I need to do, oops, sorry about that, is I'm going to start drawing the chest. So to do that, I'm going to come right against the side of this, and I'm going to come down, and you see I'm just making these points, and then I'm going to stop right there so that I'm like in line with the side of that face, because this is where my first paw is going to be. It's going to be right there along the edge of the head. And I'm going to start that paw just by doing a line and coming down. And then I'm going to do my little Corgi paw, very round. And then I'm going to have it come back up. And before I do anything else, I'm just going to give him his little toes. Then I'm going to have that paw come back. And I'm going to do another zigzag over here because I know my Corgi has a lot of fur on the back of his arms. And then you can see it just comes right back up into the Corgi. The next thing I'm going to do is the back leg. And that's going to come down the exact same way. I'm literally drawing this exact same thing, but over here, so that it's kind of cut off by this front portion of the chest. And that's going to make it look like it's behind the Corgi. So I'm just going to come down a line, create my little rounded paw, flat on the bottom, up, a zigzag, and then that other paw is perfect. And you see how this line that made up the chest appears to be in front of that paw. I did that on purpose to create a little bit of perspective with this drawing. And I'm just going to create his little toes. The next thing that I want to do personally is I'm going to make his back. And as we know, Corgis are very long. So I'm going to come right about here, and I'm just going to make that back. And then I'm going to hook right there. That's going to be his little nub because my Corgi has a nub. If your Corgi has a tail, or like you want to draw a Corgi with a tail, please feel free. You don't have to follow this video exactly. It's really just meant to be a fun, relaxing thing to do. And I'm fine with it if y'all decide you want Corgis with tails. They are adorable either way. And I'm gonna leave it at this little like J shape for right now. It's gonna look a little bit silly for a little bit, but this is just the easiest way for me to have all of the details come together. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow this line right here. I know it would go right behind that leg. And I'm gonna have it continue over here. And you can see it's a little bit lower than this one, but that's okay. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the back leg. And the back leg is shaped like drumsticks, we all know that. So I'm gonna make a big letter C, just like that. And then I'm gonna come down from the letter C. So see, now it's like a question mark shape. Like, what am I doing here? And then I'm gonna create his back paw, flat bottom, and then I'm gonna come back up. And that's kind of a weird shape, I know. And then I'm gonna have a little shelf right there, very, very tiny. And now I have this space between here and here. My Corgi has bloomers. He has a lot of fluff right here, but we call it bloomers. So it's kind of like a pair of puffy pants. So what I'm gonna do is right beneath that hook that I have right there, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna make some zigzag bloomers. So he's got a fluffy little butt. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna give him his other back leg. And it's gonna be the same as this front leg. You can see it's like a music note or like the letter 5. There, and now he has both of his back legs. Honestly, I could have added a little bit more fluff here, and I probably should have, but that's a lesson for next time. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and extend this white part right here because I know that the back of my Corgi would be that reddish orange color, and I know right here would be white, and so would his chest. So to do that, I would come right in here, and I'm gonna make a zigzag, and I'm gonna end it right there. And then I'm gonna do another zigzag along his tummy that I know would also be white. So see, all of this would be the white parts. And let's see, what else can I make that white color? I think his bloomers would be white. And then maybe just like his paws. And you see, I just followed that line, and then these would, I forgot to draw his back toes, just like that. So I think he's looking pretty good. I probably could have made his legs a little shorter, but again, we learn as we draw. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make my Corgi look a little bit more fluffy by adding some extra details in here. And to do that, I'm just doing another zigzag and another little zigzag. So now he's looking extra fluffy right there. And then I'll do a little bit more of a zigzag right here as well. So he's looking extra furry right in there. So that's how I would draw my Corgi, and I think he looks all right. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is a little bit of a surprise, and I'm gonna make my Corgi on a skateboard, which is just a fun little added extra. So to make the skateboard, I would draw a line underneath my Corgi. It's a very elongated circle or like a very long oval, just a flat shape. That's gonna be the base for my little skateboard. And then I'm gonna draw my wheels. So to start that, I'm gonna do a triangle here and a triangle here. And then inside of the wheel, you have a little circle right here, and another little circle right here. And then I would have an outer circle here, and then another one here. And obviously he would be moving because he's a cool dude skater Corgi. So I need to make a ground beneath his skateboard. And I'm just gonna make some motion lines like he's going real fast. And that's how I would make a little Corgi on a skateboard. If you want, you can also create a second set of wheels right behind the first set of wheels, just so that you have that added background detail. Yeah, just like that. And there you have it. There's my little Corgi on wheels.